Hello, Leo. This is a timeless reading. Right? I love very reading to say the least. Bear in mind, you may be here because love has something to say, or maybe it has nothing to say. Whatever comes out is what wants to come out. Okay. Bear in mind a few other details. I am Master Seventh, aka Seventh at Reiki. Energies for you. Should you want to know who she is, what she has to offer, my details can be found in the description box below. A little insight is that I am a master healer that provides remote wellness and tarot intuitive insights. Okay. Again, details in the description box. You'll find other various links both down below on how to navigate this channel and how to make your way over to my sister channel. For this reading can provide you universal justice should you be Leo in Sun rising and or Jupiter position. Anywhere else that you're aware of, according to the chaos of the world and the signs of your astrology chart, should that say anything to you, or just in general see yourself benefiting from this, it might be emotional redemption, which can be found on the timeless content over on my sister channel. Link is found in the description box below as well. All right. Now, remember, this is not a one-to-one connection. We are not connecting one-to-one together. All right. Duh. I don't know why I repeated that. This, however, is a collective general insight. What is yours is yours. What is not, leave behind. Alright, Knight of Swords. This is becoming very controversial energy for me lately, you know, Knight of Swords. It's like saying, yeah, I'm charging, I'm coming. But I don't know if it's understanding its mission. So what are you really aiming for, and what are you angry at, you know? Some of you are angry at the injustices that the world has to offer, how unfair it is to not being able to tell your story and have immediate members who can be fans to the story that you have to share, or the opinions that you have to, that you decide you want to give. You know, I feel some of you feel very closed off in a world and not feeling at home, feeling very vulnerable, and maybe also safety is an issue here. I do see that there's some envious eyes, some malicious eyes. Yeah. Okay, we have the Emperor with the Ten of Cups. So this is a bit of a home issue here. The Three of Swords is bringing that home, that there is maybe a lack of emotional, connection. All right, you want an emotional connection. You are fighting for uniformity and presence, quite literally here, as well as the Ace of Wands. But there's something getting lost in a translation of communication. I think that has a lot to do with trauma issues, so that's something that you may need to look into. That's what another person who you want to mesh things with and bring some kind of congruency of, or compromise, or compromising things out. That person that may be a victim to being this compromisable issue, this conflict at this time, cannot heal or understand what it is that you are upset about. They just literally don't understand it. They don't come from the same world of upbringing like you, so they can't, when they get emotional, which you see as sadness or anger, there are different things within the formula of what gets them to get angry. Different formula that gets them to be sad or emotional. You know, you might get emotional of like the ASPCA commercial coming on the fucking television, and looking at your person, or even sharing the tale of some kind with this person and seeing this person is not getting emotional, and you're like, wait, are you broken individual? Like, how is this not like giving you the heart, pulling your heartstrings? And then maybe you know, the same person, maybe you don't get emotional about I'm hearing like criminology, so maybe like you're seeing a crime documentary, it doesn't get you emotional, it gets you more pissed at the blasphemy of this shit. But that person, your person, maybe gets emotional about that shit. Like they get saddened by that, and you're like, I don't understand, I'm angry. So it's like there's so different extremes of emotion, yet the love is the same. The purpose of desire, of wanting to share space, is mutual. It's a mutual energy. But what is not working are the meshing. And I think that's where my lesson wants to show through at any stage of the game of how long I'm providing content for you all is that there's an attraction of duality that can be read within a community. One is quote unquote of light, contingent of darkness, and then there's one of quote unquote of darkness, contingent of light. It's more or less streamed for also in the ways of how I read the energies and who I'm reading for, and knowing where this source is coming from, pretty much what vibration. Because both Bastet and Sekhmet is a vibration before there's a name. It's not a name, okay? It's not a name. Let's put it that way, okay? Yet over time, it has given a denomination of some kind. Maybe it also had individuals be exemplary of this energy. Whatever. Point is, there is a mutual connection that has already been put into a verbal contract. Yet there are individual life aspects that every person part of this contract have to address. And that's coming more and more and more and more and more and more up into the surface. There is no more getting married with someone and suppressing your past and not having to talk about that shit. Not that person. There's no more that person pretty much like allowed to marry you under that contract of verbal, you get age cycle here, and either not pressing the issue of how well you're going to learn how to like each other or not. Because there are so many people who use the sacred word to just get papers, have like being able to enter a land. And mind you, some people get married in order to get entered in a land, on a place that's ours already. Humanity has fucked up the sacred word. Ten of Wands. Alright, humanity has just fucked up the sacred word, okay? There's a cry out for the moment something is causing injury to a connection that we blame someone else other than ourselves. We're so fucking quick to blame everyone else. Trauma doesn't really teach you that. Trauma teaches you first in silent ways to go in self-preservation mode. That's what trauma does. The body tells you, I don't want to no longer deal with this shit, but your brain doesn't remember why it went into that mode for itself. So is there a flaw for the body and you not catching up and taking time to talk about your problems, or even getting to a stage in life where 30 years in living, breathing, something comes in your life and destroys the perspectives that you've been shaping for the 30 years, because all of a sudden that thing that you've been carrying for 30 years that just was a little tiny, so it was a tiny little whisper, just a teeny tiny little whisper. It was almost mute. That's how it was, but it was so loud enough that it was been that ongoing thing for 30 years, and something comes again, a little tiny whisper, and shit explodes and gives you a reality check of the last 30 fucking years, and you're like, whoa. And then you're almost made humble. We're like, yeah, that's the life experience you asked for. Damn fucking right. Anyway, sit down and be humble. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of putting the blame of, I'm hearing, of other people. Yet we also have our ancestors more or less to blame, yeah. Trying them figuring that shit out. Our parents to blame, their parents to blame. Our parents that we either had or didn't have, biological or adopted, yes, aware, nanny, no, babysitter, yes, no. Homage to the siblings that raised us, because some of the parents weren't there, they were working, what does it take? What does it take to understand self in a world where the object that teaches you to take in this world may also be broken? It could be a very sad world if you stay within that. If you stay in that mindset of thinking, you have a harder time, more or less, accepting those injustices. So then people dabble with leaning into what the other side of light work is. And then they're like, oh, this is interesting. This is just as powerful as quote unquote light work. Yet I'm addressing something within myself that I have a very hard time talking about. Yet it also gives me something. And that's so much almost like people staying in the darkness and doing some magical work within darkness, reaping all the rewards, but never exposing anything, never sharing something. Something is not priceless given in order to take back something free. That's not harmonious. That's not eternal flow of sustainable energy. Remember, people who take, by reaping the rewards of what other people are understanding of themselves, and then they want to stand there and get shit for free. In the thinking that, well, God put you in that position to gift that, so shouldn't you be giving that for free? Shouldn't you? God didn't really make me for free. It came with a lot of consequences. That's not free. It comes with injustices. That's also not free. It teaches you that the world is free, but to live amongst it is not free. It doesn't make sense. So you're tiptoeing within a world that doesn't make sense and understanding that world, and tiptoeing into another world that does make sense, and you're like the master magician, figuring that shit out like a ninja. A warrior ninja. Alright, I'm being told that's all for you at this time. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing.